Hello there and welcome to the Mobile Academy. And if you want to become a job ready Flutter developer, make sure to check out the courses on my website mobileacademy.io. Here you will find all of the courses related to the Flutter development. You will find the professional course as well as the basic course related to the Flutter. You can also find some of the free courses over here if you want to just go and try it out, or if you are just a beginner on the Flutter and then the React Native, you can also find the free course over here. And if you would like to be a full stack developer, we also have the course related to the full stack developer, related to the Node.js, Express, MongoDB, as well as the Flutter over here. And if you would like to join the Flutter bootcamp, there is also a bootcamp course over here. So make sure to go and check out the course over here. There are free and then they paid course. And if you want to be a job ready Flutter developer, this is the course that you want to take. So see you guys on the next lesson. Till then, have a great day. In this lesson, let us try to learn about the put request. So previously we learned about the patch, and let us try to see what is the difference between the put and the patch practically over here. So for that, what I will do is I'll just go and copy this particular code from here, and I'm going to paste it below over here and just make this one as a put from here. And I have to remove this one from here. We are not going to use we are not going to pass any ID, and here we just require the request.the body. So req request.the of the body over here, not the body body over here. That is what we require, and here it should be of the body. So once we have the body over here, next is we need to find that the particular tags, right? So this will be of the const const, and then the tags will be of the I need to go and find from the tsk tags that we have, tags.define, and then the body.the over here. And this is the tags can't redeclare somewhere over here, I guess. So const of the tags, and I guess that should be fine. And here we need to find this one if there is no tags, right? So let's just go and remove this one. If there is a tags, or if there is a tags, or if we can say if the tags exist over here, that means we need to update that one over here. So let's just go and take a look over here, and what we will do over here is let's just go and remove this one from here. And first is we need to find the index over here. So find not define, it should be of the, let's say, const of the index over here. Index will be of the tags that we have, right? And this will be of the tags and then we need to find the length, right? The dot the length, and then the minus the 1. So that will be of our index. Once we grab that particular index, we can find that particular tags that we have, right? So tags and that the index. So in the tags that index, and then we are going to update the value for all of this over here. So for that, what we can do is we'll just go and grab this one. So text text will be of the request.body.text over here, right? Just replace this one over here, not this one. It should be of the dot text, and this will be of the body.the request over here. And we need to do the same thing for the rest of the tags. So that will be of the day, and then we also have the reminder. So we just got the same thing over here, and just copy this one and paste it over here. And once we have that, we again have to find that particular tags over here once we update it, and then we are going to return that particular tags from here. Just copy and paste it over here. That should be the one that we require. And this is still giving cannot redeclare block scope variable tags. So I guess we have somewhere tags over here, so we need to find, okay, so here is the tags again. That's why we are getting that one. So let's just go and remove that one in the else part over here. And in the else part, if the tags does not exist, what we need to do is we need to create a new tags over here. So for that, I'll just go and move it inside over here, and let's try to grab that one from here. And let's go to, I guess we have the post request already, and let's try to create a new one over here. And I'll just copy the whole thing from here, and let's just go and paste it over here. And once we have that, let's try to arrange this one properly. Just try to arrange it over here. So we got the new task, and ID should be of the new ID that we have generated. So this is the new ID that we are generating, and we have the new task, and in the body also we are passing that particular ID. So what we have to do is let's go and update the body dot the what we have is the ID will be of equals to the ID that we have generated. So this is the new ID that we have generated, and we want to update the body ID over here, and this should be of the spread operator for our body over here. So this should add the new ID. So I'll just go and remove this particular ID from here, and this spread operator should go and add that particular over here. So that should be good enough over here, and we'll just push that particular new task, and then finally we'll send the success over here. So it should be of the task over here that we need to find again. So just grab that one, and or we'll just the new task. So let us return the task will be of the new task over here. And let's go back to our postman, and let's try to send a request to the put over here over the task over here. So what we'll do is we'll go to the create over here, and let's try to duplicate this one from here, and we will rename this one to be of the put over here, and let's change from post to the put over here, and this is what we require. And in the body we have to pass in the one more that will be of the ID, and that is what we require. And the ID will, let's say, of the one, and we'll just submit on the of the cat over here, and let's just replace this one to be of the true for now. TRUE with true, right? So TRUE true. So that should be fine, and let's try to send this request over here, and we got that one over here. So now that was what we have replaced over here, and let's try to go and grab from the task over here, and let's try to see what we have updated over here. So we try to say, okay, so it was the ID of the 5 over here, and it was, I think it updated that one. So if you go to the, so this is the put, let me save this one, and this is what we have, the ID is of the 1. And if you pass the ID that doesn't exist, so let's just go and see the ID is of the 5, and if we try to send the ID of the 6 over here, that should add that one over there. So let's just go and send that one, and it gave us the ID of the 6. And if we go and send a request for all, so we got the 6 one. And for the put, if we want to update the number 6 with the something different, let's say study study, sorry, not here, it should be of the study study, something like book, right? And this should be of the FLSD false over here, and we just want to update that particular. Let's try to send this one, and it should be updated. So let's go and send a request over here, and now you can see it got updated. So now we have make use of the put request over here, put HTTP method over here, to either update or to create a new one. Or what you can also do is, if you don't find this particular task, you can just directly go and say return the response of not found. But in most of the cases, if you are using the put, that means you either want to update or you want to create a new record based on the object that we pass in. And in the put request, we basically pass in the whole object over here, or the things that you want to update. So you want to update this task, so we send the whole object of the task over here. And in the patch request, we just send a specific field that we want to update. So that is the difference over here. Make sure to go and read the more about it, and you'll try to understand more. So that's all for this lesson, and we will meet up in the next one. Till then, have a great day. In this lesson, let us try to learn about the HTTP response status code over here, because we have already used some of the status code over here. We are mostly using the 200, but we need to change depending on our response that we're returning back to the client over here. So if you go to this particular website over here, I will attach that to the course link, so you can just grab it from there. And here you will see that we have the HTTP response status code. And number one, each of the informational response 100 to the 199, successful response from 200 to 299, redirection response from 300 to 399, client error response, that is a 400 to 499, and then the server error response, which is of the 500 to the 599. And let's go down over here. We will go to the successful response. That is what we are currently over here. We're returning 200. This is the request succeeded, right? The result naming success depend on the HTTP status code. So mostly for the get request that we are sending, we will send this particular 200 status code. The resource has been fetched and transmitted in the message body. And for the created, once we create a new task, we will return a 201, which is of the created. The request succeeded and a new resource was created as a result. So this is a typically the response sent after the post request or some put request over here. And then what we'll do is, let's go down over here, and currently we will not use this one. Let's go back to our 400. So I guess we'll be using the 400 over here, and that will be of the bad request. The server or will not process the request due to something. It's the 400 bad request is usually sent when you send a request to the server with some kind of the invalid request, right? So invalid request message farming, right? And then what we'll also do is we will also send the 401 unauthorized if the user hasn't been, or the client hasn't been authenticated, right? So if the user hasn't been authenticated and trying to access some resources, then we will send this unauthorized message over here. That is, the client must be authenticated. And then we will have the another one, which is of the 404, right? The server cannot find the request resource. So if you are trying to access some resource but it doesn't exist in the server, then we will return a 404 not found. And then also we will send, I guess, let's go down. I guess that's the thing that we are currently going to send over here. Let me see if we can send any other for now, but I guess that's the simple request response status code that we will be sending from here. And maybe we'll also require a 403 forbidden. The client doesn't have access right, which basically means that the client is already authenticated, right? The client identity is known to the server, which basically means that the client has authenticated, but it doesn't have the access right. Maybe you have the different level of the permission, like the admin, right, the user permission. So all of those depend on the 404. If the resource is not available, or if the resource does not have access right. So if you don't have the access right, then we will have to send the 403 further. So make sure to read through this particular documentation over here if you want to understand more about the HTTP status code. But for now, we are going to make use it over here. So for that, we'll just go and create the new folder, and we'll call the HTTP. Not the HTTP. We'll make use of the utils utils over here, and let's create the new file that will be of the HTTP statu status, right? Statu status code over here it will be of the JS file. And let's go and create the const of the HTTP. Let's make use of HTTP status code over here, and here we will require the OK for 200, and we'll make use of created is 201, and the no content 204, bad request is 400, unauthorized is 401, and forbidden 403, not found 404, and then the internal server error 500. So basically if there is some error on the server side, we will be sending a 404. And if you go back to here, so let's go down to the 500 over here, and let's take a look. So 500, the server has encountered a situation it does not know how to handle, so mostly we'll be sending the 500 if those kind of server error occurs. So let's go back over here. Currently we'll be using only all of this. We'll try to add this for now, but later if we need more, then we are going to make use, we'll add it over here. And for this one, I need to export over here, so we can import it in our file. So let's go on to the top, and now what we need to do is we need to import this one for now, and that will be of the const of the http statu status code over here, right? And that will be from the, we need to require it from the utils http status code.js over here. And once we have this one, we can make use of this particular http status code. Let's go down. I guess we will just minimize this one, and here instead of hard coding to 200, we'll just make use of the http status code that we have defined, and I'll just send it as a OK, which basically means of the 200 that we have defined over here. And for this one to get the this is also a get request, and we are finding and sending the request of the task back to the client. So we'll just also make use of the http status dot OK as well over here. And this is of the post request. We are creating a new one, so for this one we'll just make use of the http status code and then the created over here. And that will be of the, if we go back, create is of the 201 over here. And for the this is of the put request, and for the put request for now, let's just make use of the http status code dot the OK as well, and just copy this one for now. And let's go back to our here, let's go down to here. This is also for that one. So I guess this is to create a new task, so here we will be sending that as the created over here, because we are creating a new task over here. And here we have the 404, so http status code of the not found, which is of the 404, right? So 404 not found. And then this is of the success deleted message. And for the deleted message, we need to send a different response. So let's try to find this one over here. Let's go on to the top. It should be on the 200 as well. So let's go on to the top, and let's go and see what we have. 204, that is no content. So there is no content to send this request, but the header may be useful. The user agent may update the catch header for this resource with the new one. So basically if we delete a resource, then we basically make use of a 204 no content. That means that the resource was successfully deleted over there. So let's go to here, and I need to add a 204. Okay, so it's already here, so I didn't notice that one. And for that here, if it is successful, then we'll make use of the http status code dot the no content, which means that we have successfully deleted that particular resources. So now we have successfully updated our status code over here to a separate file. And here what we have done is we have make use of that one over here, so we don't have to hard code it over here. And look like we have some error over here, app crashed. And let us take a look over here. So unexpected token export over here. So if we go over here, this may be because of the export that we have used over here, that is of the export const of the status code over here. And for that, let's try to go and see how we have imported over here. Okay, so we are making use of the require over here, which is of the older way of making use of the import file over here. So let's try to make use of the new way of using the import over here from this particular, and let's try to remove this one over here. and let's go down and let's take a look. So we still have some error, and that is because I guess this way of importing exporting is not working on the Node.js. So what I have to do is I have to remove this one from here, and let's go back to over here, and I have to remove this particular export from here. And what I have to do is I have to use the module.the exports, and I have to export this particular HTTP status code over from here. So in this way we can export our module, right? So module.the exports, and then equals to the status code that we have defined over here. And in this way we can export this particular file. So this is a common JS way of exporting a file in the Node.js, and later once we are using the TypeScript, we will see how to make use of the ES6 over there to import and export over here. So for now we'll use a common JS way of export module.export the status code over here, and then we have to import it over here, and then we can make use over here. Now you can see that we are our server is running successfully. So now if you go back to our Postman, and if you try to get some record, so now you can see we have this status code correct one, and this should also return us the 200, right? And this is to the post. This means that we need to create a new one, and you can see that the correct one 201 is the status code that is returning for us. And for the put, you can see that it is also returning the correct one 200, and patch, that is also 404 not found, right? That is because of this one, right? The ID hasn't found, which means that it is now returning a correct one of the 404 resource not found. And then if we try to delete this particular one, so let's just go and send this one, and you can see that it doesn't return anything, but the status code is of the 204 no content, which means that all of our implementation is successful over here. So that's all for this lesson, and we'll meet up in the next one. Till then, have a great day.